Yay! So here we are at Unblocking Abundance. This is our session number 3. I'm here with Barrie Rose. How are you, Barrie?
I'm really good. Thanks for asking. Yeah, I've had so many epiphanies. So I feel like I'm like constantly on the verge of like, what? What? Um,
Yeah,
how are you?
so much unfurling.
Mhm.
Mm. I've been just doing a lot of healing, healing with my body, and figuring out like different ways I can support myself with different kinds of herbs and stuff. So, um,
Mhm.
yeah, yes.
Yeah.
And at this moment, I'm feeling good. I'm excited to be here with you and see what
Mhm.
comes up. Yeah.
I'm really interested to know what herbs. I don't want to like
Oh,
derail our conversation, but
yeah.
yeah.
I just got a whole DL, or is that what you call it? No. Yeah. They're like Chinese medicine herbs. This is all pertaining to um, um, urinary tract infection, bladder issues,
Mm.
which is also connected to the liver and anger. My
Ooh.
blood is too hot,
Oh.
but it's also thing of like things coming out of my system. Things are purging through my system, and so yeah, there's a lot of um, more like rage, goddess embodiment.
Ooh. Fire.
Yeah, fire. Hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I know cooling foods would be good for
Yes.
that.
I literally, the Chinese medicine practitioner literally told me to look up cooling foods.
Like
You know,
cucumber.
one of them is banana. And
Ooh,
so, bananas are really also good for the liver. Has a lot of detox elements to it. Yeah. So,
wow.
yeah, banana, just made banana milk. It's really yummy.
Oh, that sounds delightful.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
Yes.
um, should we just hop to it, or do you want to some grounding?
Whatever you feel.
Yeah. I mean, I did my own grounding before, but we can do it again, or we can go into it.
I mean, I did grounding earlier, but I'm always down to reground.
Okay. How about let's reground because we're now in a new space.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So go ahead and you can just bring all parts of you into this here and now. Close your eyes, tune into your breath, and sense your breath like tidal waves washing into shore on the inhale and washing out on the exhale. Letting all parts of you know it is safe to be here now. I'm going to connect to the Earth Star chakra, which is the energy center that is 6 to 8 inches below your feet, below the ground. And sense the chakra that connects you to the earth. Imagine, visualize a golden white orb connecting you to the earth, connecting you to your root at the base of your spine. Set up a connection between this golden earth star chakra to your sacral. It's right below your navel. Connecting the earth star chakra to your heart center. Connect your earth star chakra to your throat energy center. And connection between earth star chakra and third eye center. Connecting your earth star chakra to your crown. You sense your physical body, this vessel as a bridge between earth and sky. Inviting for sensitivity, receptivity, all that is emerging within you. Around you. Taking 3 slow, gentle, deep breaths. And so we return back to your physical surroundings. Open your eyes.
That was really helpful.
Mm. So, here we are. So tell me how what's been coming up for you related to abundance. You've been noticing.
Yeah, I mean, based on last week, I did learn that everything is abundance, in that you were saying that having all your cups full and replenished is what abundance is.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like I'm having all these discoveries this week with kind of my relationship to my body, and experiencing what I put into my body as really affecting me in that, and really seeing that in a direct correlation. Like specifically, like last night I got food poisoning for the first time in since I was like 10. And it was a really kind of awakening experience because I was throwing up, like purging all this stuff, but I was fine. I mean, mentally, I was just like, okay, this is happening, and I can really be at peace while this really weird uh ex experience is happening. And it made me realize that when I was cooking, I know exactly what gave it to me.
Yeah.
It was this broth that was in the must have been in the fridge for a long time. But I think I wasn't entirely present when I was cooking because I remember I was multitasking. I was listening to a voice message, and it just made it just brought up these feelings about how I need to be present when I do things. And also, sometimes I have this divorce from what I put into my body as having an effect. And it made me realize that that had such a extreme effect that it brought it to my attention really quickly. And I think it was sort of the universe's way of saying, like, really pay attention to what you're exposing yourself to in the food way, but also in like what I let into my world, what I'm digesting in all ways.
Yeah. Wow. Hmm.
So I suppose that's abundance related. Would you think? Do you think that's related?
It's interesting that we just already started even before this about talking about health, the body, hmm and
Yes.
what
Yeah.
goes into the body. In what mind state are you in when you ingest things? Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. And then this purge through the food poisoning.
Oh, wow. It's a crazy.
Yeah, Olivia, it's the Korea season, all about the body. Yes.
I didn't know that.
Mm. Hmm. Yeah. So something that wasn't in alignment with you was immediately known.
Mm. And that happened the night before as well in a different way.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
You also had a purge the night before.
Oh my God. Well, I took a THC supplement, and I haven't like smoked weed in so many years, maybe I don't know, 10 years or something, like so long. And I thought it would help me sleep, but I didn't really think about it too much. I didn't think this, obviously, it's not, it's going to do other things. I just thought, oh, maybe this will help me sleep. So I just took it. And then it was crazy. It was like the most intense um, situation ever. I was up all night, and I felt I had so many different, I was like shivering, and I was going through all these different um, things, and I kept trying to only think positive thoughts because I felt in such a vulnerable space to where I thought everything I was thinking was going to permeate my subconscious. And I think when you're in those states, it does. But it also made me have that same realization, like, okay, I need to be really aware of what I'm putting in my body because that was scary.
Mm. Yeah, yeah. And that also reminds me of some months ago, I was dealing with a lot of I think I drank some bad water in Mexico, or I had some kind of poisoning happen, and I just had really sensitive digestion for months.
Mm.
And and during that time was when I just had to get so slowed down because literally everything I eat, I would just feel everything was so sensitive that I really learned that time of like I was really feeling like every little thing I was doing because everything was so sensitive, like doing Reiki on myself and blessing everything that I was eating and blessing everything I was drinking. And it forced me to have to be so mindful and slow down. And so that's also, I feel like the gift of when you're getting ultra sensitive to things is it kind of forces you to have to slow down and really be mindful with everything and knowing that everything is energy and the energy you put into it. And it made me have to pay really close attention. And so that was the blessing that came from that experience. And then I got better and it didn't get so, I didn't have to get so ultra with it, but I think it was, well, now with different issues coming up, it's reminding me, okay, it's a, that's the indicator to get really mindful, slow down, and that it does make a difference how you feel towards something and bless something, bless what you ingest. Mhm.
Yeah, I love that.
And especially when
It,
you learn about, oh, this, like this herb is medicinal for this. And there's this abundance of that of, oh, this thing I never noticed before, but you're my antidote. And then just feeling that gratitude for all these different plant consciousness that have so many
yeah,
abilities.
wow. Yeah, it's so yeah, the plant universe is so abundant in that there is something for every ailment, and it's so pure. It's directly from the source. So it just feels like we have access to this whole universe of knowledge and for our direct well-being, that we don't have to like do all these complicated things. Like sometimes it's just finding the herb or plant that's gonna do that. Wow.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
this um uh what you were kind of tuning into with this purge, yeah, with the food poisoning. Did you want to speak more on that or yeah? Um
Well, yeah. Not necessarily. I did come with other feelings of what we could potentially unblock.
yeah, okay. So yeah, mhm.
Because that felt like I did learn the lesson.
Okay.
So, okay.
So if anything is lingering in you, yeah.
Oh, in terms of that.
Yeah, or something completely different. Yeah, it doesn't.
Well, I suppose what I did bring to the hat is completely different.
Okay. Okay.
Do you want to make
Yeah. Yeah.
turn?
Yeah. Think of the turn.
A jump?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Okay. Are you ready?
Mhm.
Okay, it's not scary or anything. So, yeah. So the block or what I'm trying to untangle, unpack is so okay, so I make content on the internet,
Mhm.
right? On especially on TikTok. And I kind of came into that by a little accident, not really trying to, or like first it was so pure and it was so expressive.
Mhm.
And now I feel like I've developed this audience of queer and trans people, which I love because like I feel like so connected to these people and I love them so much. But but then I have had this feeling for a long time that there's so many parts of a human, you know, and I'm like, obviously I'm not just like a queer non-binary person. I'm like, so I like, we're having this conversation about abundance, and it's a spiritual thing, and it's kind of unlocking our potentials as humans. And I don't know, I just feel like there's so many different parts I want to
Yeah.
express all the time. And I
Yeah.
don't want to be locked into a box ever of this is all I do. And I
Yeah.
know that if you develop an audience for a specific thing, like they kind of count on you for that thing.
Mhm.
And then there's like this whole algorithm of like if I talk about something else or do another video, like that doesn't get enough views or something.
Mhm.
And then so I don't want to be tied to like needing it's not worthy unless it gets views. I mean, because it could potentially affect one person without it getting a million views. So I guess I'm just trying to unpack of can I be abundant in that realm? Like why not? Why can I create different things and be successful in different avenues on the same platform? Why not? Uh,
Yeah. Yeah.
why not?
Yeah. Why not? Okay. So you want to, yeah, wanting to feel abundant in all realms, expressing your multi-dimensional totality.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like not just there's the identity part, but there's so many other things that you're interested in, passionate about, and that you have
Yeah.
messages you want to share.
Yeah, and I think I think that's abundance related because the opposite would be confining yourself to a certain
Mhm.
niche or genre or thing like people will only like me for this.
Mhm.
Like is that's seems to be confinement. So I think this is an abundance issue.
Mhm. So thinking that your abundance can only come if through the ways that have already been known to work,
Ah, yeah.
and for you to have a lot of visibility in.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah, and that it can only come in through only expressing in that way.
Yeah. But it's yeah, and I know artists have different eras, you know, when you grow and change and evolve. So your art, your expression has to grow and change.
Mhm. Yeah.
So it's only natural it's going to be not exactly the same. But I think it's like breaking out, like breaking into something fresh that feels fresh for this time.
And the thing is, it's fresh if you feel fresh with it, and you're expressing it in a way that feels fresh to you.
Yeah. Yeah, but I also want it to bring value to someone because I think that's what matters as well.
Yeah. Yes. And so, oh, do you need something? Um, so, um, right. The thing that is going to feel like you're you're getting your message through, the message that's like resonant with you because it's vibrating with what matters to you currently.
Yeah, and that could still be queer non-binary stuff. Like that still is relevant and feels right, but it's like could be a bunch of other things. It could be, I don't know. I mean, I'm like constantly inspired, is a gift because that's abundance. It's just a means of how do I express that
Hmm. Hmm.
without and I've felt myself do that. And then sometimes I get scared and I'm like, delete, delete. I
Yeah.
don't know what I'm scared of. I'm not maybe I don't know what I'm scared of. There's nothing to be scared of.
Well, but there's something that is there. Let's unpack what that is. Yeah. So you're on the verge of wanting of like, can you walk me through what that moment is for you when you're wanting to share something that's kind of going, that's not what you usually share? And the part of you that's saying, no, 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 backpedaling on that. What are you fearing?
Just that no one will care. But
Mhm.
you know, there are times where I share things that feel really true where I don't have that feeling.
Mhm.
And I because if I don't tie myself to results and I just let it be and I don't even I'm not
Yes.
attached to it, it feels fine.
Mhm.
But when I'm attached to results, it feels the opposite. So I think what your question is, I just question if anyone cares about any other part or any other message or any other
Mhm.
topic from me specifically because
Yeah. Yeah. So that's the fear. That what if I share something that no one cares about?
yeah,
Mm. Hmm. And if no one cares, if you don't know that anyone cares about it, like what would be bad about that?
I think if no one cares, it's equated to this doesn't have value.
Mm.
So, but at the same time,
Yeah.
that's not necessarily true.
Yeah.
It just came to mind. There was this experiment with a bunch of I think it was like famous jazz musicians, and they were playing on the subway, and it showed like how people walked by and didn't care about them when they were just in that context.
Hmm.
But then when they were in front of like a big audience, people cared.
Hmm.
And it just, I don't know, my head flashed to that.
Mm.
Just that maybe it is still valuable, but maybe it's not the right packaging or the right presentation
Mm.
that makes people care. And that's depersonal. That's not anything
It's not
personal.
saying anything about you, right? And people care about
Oh,
things. People care about things based on what they need,
uh,
based on needs. Yeah. So, um, or like value is comes from needs. So if I, so maybe on your channel, like what I'm needing is to feel more like affirmed in my identity or whatever, then like I'm getting that need met through your content that's like helping me feel safe to like learn how to like express myself to my family and like, the different educational things that you're doing to help people feel safe in their identity. So, so it might be that, yeah, like people are expecting to get, yeah, they get that need met from you on your channel, but then it might be that those same people, um, if you're posting about, I don't know, meeting some other kind of need or giving value in a different, that's like a different subject. I don't know what you were thinking, but yeah, it could be that they're just, that's not their need in the moment. So the same people, or I don't know, some might have that need, but it might, yeah, just be, a need that they don't have in that way. But it has no indication, that has no connection to the value that it is, its own intrinsic value of what you're sharing.
could someone else have that need though, maybe?
Yeah, but someone else, exactly. Hmm. Yeah. So it could be that um mm, well, okay, there's like two avenues I'm feeling this come through with. On one hand, like maybe taking a more expansive view of what your channel is about. And it's really about you being you and you sharing your life and like, and your identity. Um, Education is like one channel of it, but that you are, it's really about Barrie Rose and you being authentic with yourself and your journey and and all the different compartments that that involves. So that you even have a more expanded view on like what is the essence of you that comes out through this way and this way and this way, and that you're here to just share yourself and like be yourself. Hmm.
Mm. I like that and that expansive view.
Yeah, yeah. So like whatever you talk about, it's all coming from you. So it's interesting just to know what is it that you're into and passionate about. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
Okay.
Um, and then there's this other another perspective with that, which is um, with the people that you're serving through your content. Um, it is kind of like, what is the message that they need to hear from you? Yeah. So now we're getting into like through you being you, you're actually um, embodying the resolution of a pain point. So, in any way that you use to address that pain point, it's going to matter and be relevant for your people.
Okay. Yeah, so any way that feels authentic, that I'm addressing a pain point,
Yeah. Hmm.
could be valuable.
Yeah.
And basically, it's all pain points because I mean, there's a painful side and a resolution side to everything. So it just feels that feels abundant that there's so many different possibilities of stories to tell.
Yeah. Hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Ways to show your process and different ways
Yeah,
around a solution to something.
yeah,
Sometimes even by naming the pain. Yeah.
naming the pain.
Yeah.
You mean
Like
naming?
articulating whatever the challenge is. Yeah. That you're facing and that you are saying it in your own way through you, through your unique language and how you think about it, how you think about the problem, how you're addressing it in yourself.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, and also something that you're bringing up that I'm I'm learning in a very more in a more clear way is that the pain is your friend and the pain is the solution.
Mhm. Yeah. Within the pain contains, yeah, the solution.
yeah, to not be scared of the pain.
Mhm. I love this spelling out of pain. Just pay attention, integrate now.
Um,
And really, when we talk about integration, right, it's like things coming together. And usually with pain, what we normally do with pain is, I mean, it is such a natural, automatic reaction to be like, you want to get away from it. But because there are all the conditioning and the beliefs about pain being bad and pain meaning something bad is going to happen to you, or you're going to get rejected for it, or it's not okay to express it. All those things we learn to repress, deny, or minimize. So by integrating it, we're taking that pain that's being pushed away, and we're recognizing that that pain that's being pushed away has value. You have to understand why it's there, and that it's there to serve a purpose. It actually, um, through understanding it and working with it, um, that's where the solution is. It's actually the solution is in how you shift your relationship to pain, and then it can not work against it, but you can have work with it and let it be part of your consciousness. Let it be part of um, a part of you that you're like letting into your being.
oh my God, I feel that very viscerally with my period. I just got it this week for the first time in a long time because I was taking testosterone and stuff, so I wasn't having a period. And then, but integrating, like being so at peace with the period, which is, it is pain. I mean, it's funny that it's pain and it's discomfort, but it's serving such a purpose of allowing your body to. It, I mean, it's doing so many things, but it made me realize that it's such a creation space that it's like having a period allows you to create life essentially.
Yeah.
But it's also the flow. It's You're in the flow when you're in it. And it's releasing a bunch of stuff that your body doesn't need. It's like literally just releasing it out. It made me just have these realizations that it's such a beautiful process and it's serving something that's ultimately good for my health.
Mhm.
So it's not bad. It's something to be at peace with and potentially celebrate.
Yeah, completely. And this is the time when we're actually the most psychic, and you're supposed to be like back in the day, ancient times. This was the time when people bleeding would be together in the red tent, they call red tent, and just get downloads for how the future will unfold, receive
Well,
messages from source. This is like the time when we're most connected to source, and the time when we need to not be lifting a finger.
ah,
Mm. Like full receptive, like in your power, leaning back, resting, like being so tuned into this like this deep regenerative void receptive time. Yeah.
mm,
Mhm. So yeah,
mm.
and that's
Yeah, and I think it's a process of deconstructing the patriarchy, basically, like all the messaging that has said like periods are gross and bad, and just like really appreciating it and honoring what it allows you to do and honoring your body. Like I am someone who loves exercise, but I realized around this time I have to do a different type of exercise that's more honoring. that process. Yeah,
Mm.
sorry. I don't know if this is all. I'm trying to not get off topic.
Yeah,
I feel
I
like
think
I
this
could
is
talk
definitely
about so many things with you. But
that is
back to
absolutely the time
abundance.
to be doing yin yoga.
Mm,
Yeah, nothing
yeah.
strenuous, things to help you relax deeper.
Yeah.
And open the body and be in the deep womb mysteries. So I feel like this is very much connected to abundance. How to fill your cup when you are in the pain of your body doing its magical process. Yeah.
Yeah, and that you can fill your cups at different times with different drinks
Yeah. And you're
symbolically.
also kind of out of linear time and needing to enter into a different sense of time.
Oh,
Yeah. Which is another form of abundance to really give yourself the space and time when you're in the menstrual cycle, bleeding time, to give yourself the time to enter into the depth of time.
oh,
Yeah. Where you can give yourself that space, time to be more in the what they call like cerebellum part of your brain is the more like primordial part of your brain. It's not the linear logical mind where you're more in your body time.
hmm, okay.
Mhm. So,
I have another question for you
yeah.
on the topic of blockages. So, you know how in okay, you know how in the I was reading on or like listening to this audiobook on manifesting, and it talks about how there's a gestation period of your desires and the things that you want, and then it's kind of like planting a seed in that you have to allow it to grow and you can't just think and force it to happen right away. So, in that time where you have an idea or you're moving forward towards something, or I think the part that I've had trouble with, or the maybe the block, is the trusting that it's going to happen, or like trusting that in this on this subject, like trusting that the money is coming, like I'm doing the causes, I'm moving forward towards it, that it's going to come, like it's going to show up.
Mhm.
I think the trust part is the hard for me. So how do you let go at, because like I kind of sometimes just want to like control how it happens, and I have like a control issue maybe. I'm trying to let go. How do you do that?
Mm.
I do it sometimes, a lot of the time, but how do you do it more consistently?
So in the space of so you planted the seed of this is what I desire.
Mm,
And so you're asking, yeah, how do you let yourself trust that what you planted is going to yield the fruit you want?
yeah.
Mhm. Yeah. Well, um, do you feel so So is it the what part of this do you feel uncomfortable with? Is it the that you're not taking action on it anymore? That you have to be in a let go place?
Well, first of all, am I taking enough action? I guess that's a different question. Am I taking enough action? And how do you take enough action from like a wanting place as a, I mean, not a wanting.
Yeah.
Okay, sometimes I feel like I want to take action but I'm not in a headspace that feels good.
Mhm.
Does and that action feels a little bit more like needy or something. But then when I'm in the space of feeling great and I take the action, I'm it seems like I'm taking less action because I'm scared that if I take action from an unaligned space, the results won't be good. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
But I
totally.
want to take more action because I have this feeling like if I don't take action, nothing's going to happen and I can't be lazy.
Mhm. Yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
this paradigm of I need to feel good all the time to get what I desire.
Yeah. Well,
But also feeling good for feeling good's sake is valid too.
yeah.
And is this a problem anyone else has, or is it just I don't know if this is like
Sure, you're not the only person. No, no. So, I mean, yes, to you taking aligned action when you feel the natural momentum of, oh, I feel inspired to do this, even if it feels a little uncomfortable or I'm scared about it, but still there's energy and momentum behind it with like, I want to. Versus when you're saying when you're not in a really good headspace and it's just like, um, yeah, yeah, I would say that is not the place to be taking action. You want to then figure out that's the space to kind of work internally with yourself, with like what's going on, what is needed for me right now, what's my resistance.
oh, that's resistance. I didn't know what that was.
Yeah,
Like sometimes I'll just get in a bad mood and I won't think about it as resistance. I'll just
resistance.
think like I don't know what happened to bring me there, but
Yeah.
that's
So then,
resistance.
yeah, so that's the moment when shadow work is very valuable because oftentimes it's like there's a disconnect between your conscious mind and your subconscious. And so shadow work is going to help you find out what is this resistance or this bad mood or this thing that's happening where I feel stuck or I don't want to move forward and to figure out what is needed here and what is going on with me. And so that's your work to excavate. Yeah. So in that process, maybe you're asking yourself, what am I resisting right now? Which is really just we're talking about what is in opposition to what is an internal part of me that's opposing what I think I want or need to do right now. Yeah.
That wow, that just was so helpful because I thought that was I was kind of in my head I was thinking like this is outside the process, but it's
No,
actually is the process.
that is the
That's the
process. Yeah.
process.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
So wow, it's an opportunity and it's kind of endlessly coming up. So it's like
Mhm.
you're in the
There's so many
game or
opportunities. Yeah.
you're in the flow of it all the time. It doesn't end.
It doesn't end. Mhm. There's
Whoa, it's like
abundance
wow.
of resistance to work through, to transmute. Yeah. And it could be that the resistance is maybe it actually really has to do with I'm just really tired right now, and it's not the energy right now to be go, go, go. And maybe then you'll look deeper into the tiredness and like what is the fatigue. And maybe first you just let yourself take a nap because you're just falling asleep. And then through the fatigue, you can like ask your fatigue, what do you feel tired about? And a lot of times when I talk to my fatigue, there's really like some kind of very strained belief going on. Like, oh, I gotta make it perfect. And if it's not perfect, then I shouldn't do it at all. And so there's like a lot of strain energy trying to like get things just right and some control energy, which is making me tired, which is just like, that's the thing that's actually creating fatigue. So then, so then working with that part that's just like trying so hard, I mean, like, okay, I'm going to give you permission to not try at all and just drop the perfectionism. And it's like, how do you drop the perfectionism? Let them know that what is real and what is just authentic in the moment, like reframe what perfectionism is. Just like you being real with what is true right now, speaking your truth right now in the
Is this you talking out loud to your
yeah,
that part, or is this you writing?
yeah. I'm kind of talking to it. A lot of times it's just like I do like inner monologue or I'll write it out. Yeah, or I'll like ask consciously ask a question. I'll just feel the response coming up. and and it's about also getting deeper into figuring out what's the vulnerability behind this control or trying to get things perfect. It's like asking what are you scared will happen if this doesn't happen in the way that you think it should. And it's just I'll find a part that's just quivering like no one no one will like me and I'll be alone and I'll be abandoned and people will think I look stupid and it's just going to be bad and I'm alone. And then that's the time when I see, oh, okay, this is this very scared, like baby part of myself. And that's when I do the, okay, time to pick up the baby. And then, yeah, hold that part that's really scared.
So how do you hold you as a baby?
Yeah. So then me holding the baby looks like I'm seeing that part that's so scared of not being perfect, being unlovable. And then I just kind of, I can mentally tell that part of myself, like, you're okay. Like, I accept you just the way you are.
Oh, you froze for a sec.
Okay. hmm Um, yeah. And it is like, I honor what you feel. It's okay for you to feel this way. I'm just slowing down and breathing with this part of me, helping that part to feel really seen, heard, understood,
Hmm.
telling them things like, of course you would be scared. Yeah. And then that could even take me to a memory of me as a child um, creating something or trying or doing something that got got me scolded, my mom, or feeling some judgment from school. Yeah, something like that. and then that'll be a gateway for me to connect to that part and help that part integrate that part, help that part come out of that reality, like invite them to a reality where I'm not going to punish you for that. And I'm sorry that that happened. I accept you and I love you unconditionally.
Yeah, this seems like the key to unlocking the whole universe, honestly.
Is yeah,
This work.
yeah. In very simple ways, it's really just, I think the key to everything is working with the resistance. Because again, your our essence self, how we're born without resistance. As babies, we're not, you're just full of wonder and um, you're not in fear about like, oh, what if, but it's all the conditioning that starts to create your sense of reality and beliefs about I can't and all of that. So really the work is in uh, like everything's already there. Like everything, the truth is that everything is abundant and replenishing and infinite. But all you got to do is figure out what things inside of you are preventing that from being expressed or from you receiving that, giving that. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So even I think it's an important thing to even know, like when even to name something as resistance, right? Because that's another thing. Things that are just so normal to your way of being, and we don't even know that it's you putting up a wall or like opposing something. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well,
I want to talk about, I don't know, this just came up this morning with this aha moment for me with my abundance block. Um, yeah, this is an abundance block. So I've been in the process of writing a book, a series of collection of stories, essays, and and I realized that even though this is something I really want, I have a lot of other parts of me that are just been putting on the brakes and actually won't um, let me fully commit to this, to say, okay, we're doing this. Somehow, not all of my parts are on board, which is why it just keeps, I don't know, I just keep finding a way to not work on it. And even not wanting to let myself say this is my top priority. And the aha moment was that my it's because there's a thing that doesn't want to let me commit because of fear of failure. So that like if I do fully commit and it doesn't turn out the way that I want it to, then oh, it'll be so devastating. So rather it like rather let myself dissipate the energy and kind of just have a lot of things going on and say like just have a lot of things but not really get focused on saying like no, this is what I want, this is what I want to focus on. So so oh, like I'm just seeing abundance block is dispersing energy and trying to do a lot of things and not focusing. So this is my abundance block identified. And once I saw that, whoa, okay.
Whoa. So are you going to do it now?
Yeah, I mean,
Now that you know that?
yeah,
I
it's been
mean,
like
you've been
so
doing
many
it, but
stop and go, but now yeah, now that I recognized this block, this what my resistance is, which deep down is fear of failure, then now, yeah, so now I'm like my consciousness is rearranging itself, and then from there, structure can come. So as soon as I had that aha, now I'm like, okay, what's the space that I'm going to write in? Like time blocking, and now all those things make sense because now all my parts are getting more on board with yes, we want to commit, we want to get focused. Yeah.
oh,
So the
yeah.
external kind of structure comes from the internal integration.
Yeah. Yeah, I can so relate to that. The creative prop the yes.
Mhm. Yeah. So yeah,
Good
resist.
job that you're doing it, that you recognize that.
Yeah. Mhm. So resistance can come up in so many different ways. And one of them that I was naming, yeah, about scattered energy,
Do
wanting,
you ever do you think that like say you have a creative project idea, like say it's a book or um do you think the excuse of I'll do is it an excuse to say I'll do that in a couple months or that's in my future plan? Or do you think that's an excuse of resistance? Like if is there a timing of when you should start something? Like a divine timing or is that just kind of like a construct you create for yourself and you can start now?
I think um, I think it's totally okay to know, like, okay, there's something going on right now, but yes, starting this moment is when I can bring my full energy into something. Yeah. So, yeah, it doesn't have to be just because you don't start it right now doesn't mean that it's not going to happen, but you can let yourself kind of give natural, yeah, like finishing out something that you have going on and allocating time later, yeah, for something that you want to do, but it's not right now. Hmm.
Okay, yeah,
It doesn't
makes
mean
sense.
you're not committed.
Okay.
Yeah. So any other like resistance you can name or
Uh, um, I mean, yes, if you want to, if you want to go back to the subject of food,
yeah,
I feel like my resistance might be that sometimes I get into state. It's like, okay, sometimes I disconnect from my body and I like overeat or something. And I think and then I feel it in my stomach. I feel like, oh my God, I'm so full. And then I'm like, why did I do that? And is it because I wasn't being present or was it because I don't know why? And I'm trying not to do that. I'm trying to be really intentional. But I wonder if that's kind of what, why. I wonder why I would need to do that because I feel like that's kind of a numbing situation.
Yeah.
Because when you overeat or something, it's kind of like your focus turns to that, and it's hard to do other things in a clear state.
Oh, right. There's a chain reaction. So you overeat and then makes you kind of cloudy, and then you're
Uh,
present for then the other things, and there's a domino effect. But all of it is
yeah,
from there's something in you that was, it's almost like what was the food trying to, what were you trying to get away from with the food?
I think I always feel like it must be my potential as a human because you're just, and I also think like in my past we that I restricted a lot, and this is like the opposite. So I think it's
Oh,
just having like a healthy relation. I know it's improved so much. Like I have, whenever I eat, I bless my food and I eat really nourishing, and I say like, okay, this is gonna nourish my body in the best possible way. And when I'm really mindful, I don't do it. I don't do it, and it's fine.
but sometimes.
But so, yeah, sometimes, and I think it's when I'm stressed.
Mhm. Yeah.
So
But
I guess the
when
chain
you're
reaction starts with the stress.
right, yeah. So it's looking at what is the stress that's creating, you're like trying to relieve the stress through eating.
Yeah, because it's a numbing kind of sensation. Not numbing, but like I think it gives you serotonin or something.
Well, by getting this immediate sensation, then it can numb out whatever other stress sensation you don't want to feel.
Yeah.
Mm.
Is that an abundance block?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so how do you fix that one?
Well, then I would just, okay, well, this is because, when you're having an appetite too, that's really challenging. Hello? I think you froze.
You froze for me. I don't know if,
Now you're back.
oh, you've, okay. You're, you're back too.
Yeah. Well, if there is a way that when you're stressed and you find yourself going for food, can like have a little intervention in that moment and um like let yourself, because in the moment of stress there's some internal part of you that's feeling something insecure, unsafe, agitated about something. So it's like giving yourself this um kind of interrupt your flow to make your flow about addressing the emotional thing before you, yeah, go on to feeding yourself. Yeah, it's like kind of like letting yourself have your emotional nurturance first to take care of the emotional thing.
Yeah. Pattern interrupt.
Yeah. It's kind of like when there's a thing happening internally where you're feeling some kind of upset, and you could, uh, it's a parallel to it's like this baby is crying, and um and you want to pick up the baby when it's crying and check out, like, hey, how are you doing? And kind of feel into what is the baby crying about, what does the baby need. Yeah, but it's like you're hearing the baby crying, which is the anxiety or something, stress. But without checking in first with a baby, you're just putting a thing in its mouth.
Oh,
Like, here, eat this, eat it, eat it, eat it. And then, so yeah, the baby, you don't hear the baby crying, but then just the baby has food. Do you see what I'm?
yeah, I feel bad for the baby.
I mean, we do this
I
to
feel
ourselves
bad for
all
the
the
baby.
time, unknowingly. Yeah. Mhm. So it's just like this practice of attunement, of mhm, attuning to what your emotional cup needs, how to fill this cup of your emotional needs, and then tend to that first before you tend to your uh, physical food need.
Right.
Yeah, and it could be that baby's also hungry too. But first, you need to like pick up the baby before you just like put food in the mouth. Like, hey, what do you need? I'm here for you. Yeah.
Yeah, that's helpful. It seems so simple.
Yeah, simple, but in practice, when there's some kind of pain body happening, yeah, it's challenging to redirect. Oh,
Mm.
I'm so glad, Jessica.
Yeah, so glad. So glad that we universally aren't all alone in our problems or our, you know,
Yeah. I mean, I mean, that's why stress eating is so common.
I mean, even Oprah said she did that.
Everyone does it, yeah. But it's just showing everyone has a challenging time with being present with difficult emotions. We'd much rather just distract, distract,
Mm.
distract than slow down to really attune.
Yeah, and when you're in that heightened state, it's almost like you're operating from a different level of consciousness that isn't rational. Or that's how I feel. It's
Yeah.
not like I can easily say, "Oh, why I can just stop myself." But when I'm in that state, I'm like a weird robot,
Yeah.
like doing things, and I would have to be like, "Stop." I mean, I can do it. I'm still like in my human form,
Yeah.
but it just will take. I just have to be so. Yeah, I can do it. Do it.
Right. So this is the meditation practice, right? This is, and think of this is the meditation practice that's integrated into your daily life
Mhm.
with the things that happen in these, like, come up in these very mundane moments of, yeah, as you're preparing your meal and then get a trigger.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have this friend that is just really so energetically um, sensitive or attuned to energies when she's preparing food and stuff. And one time her mom was making her kimchi, and her mom was like, I don't know, angry about something. And and then my friend was telling her mom, no, I don't want to eat this because you were putting like stress energy into the kimchi, so I will not eat the kimchi.
Oh my God. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's real. I
Yeah.
mean,
Hmm.
but
Yeah.
amazing how sensitively uh, attuned this friend is that they're aware of that.
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah. So,
Yeah, that was super helpful. You're a magic maker. Seriously, this what you do is so healing for me in this time and the world. I mean, I'm grateful for you.
mhm. Thank you so much. My pleasure. My pleasure. Um, okay, so do you feel like this is a good moment to
Mm.
close abundance number three? Um, Thank you everyone for joining us and being present and sharing your energy in this space. Hope you found benefit with Barry's offerings
Yeah, thank you.
for sharing what's coming up for you. I just feel like there's, the personal thing is so not, it's such a collective thing. We're all connected. Yeah.
For real, we're all connected.
Mhm. And I am offering right now, I still have my winter catharsis one-on-one guidance program available. A couple spots still available. If you're interested in working with me and if you found this work helpful. So I'll write, right, you can book a free 30-minute discovery call with me to talk about how you can be supported um, for it's an 8-week program to work with me one-on-one. And you can book that call with me at kwanyin.as.me. So I'll write that in the chat.
Amazing. I hope everyone does this and does the work. And yeah.
Amazing. Okay, well, so much love to you all and happy rest of your weekend.
Yay, love you all. Love you so much.
February.
Thank
Okay.
you.